Week number 13, on to week number 13. And we polled the audience, 50 to 60% of you can still trade, which is crazy. We polled the audience on the last show. So we will be talking about some trade, but I'm going to try and also not make it all about trading because half of you can't. This is a bad week and a good week on so many levels. Bijan was underutilized. Gibbs went to mother freaking Jupiter. Those that have Genty, you guys live. I'm sorry, JSN. JSN owners live to Jupiter. But we got a Genty to Mars.
To Mars.
For performance. And then we also have this news about Chip Kelly, OC, in LV getting fired. What's that mean for Genty moving forward? What's it mean for Brock Bowers moving forward? This is a clear indication that they're not happy with how Bowers has been involved, how much they've been getting the rock to Genty on the ground. Baker Mayfield injury update. Is it a shoulder injury? Yes. Is it an AC joint injury? Probably. Are x-rays negative? Yes. Is an MRI result coming tomorrow to talk about the AC joint, the severity of the injury? Yes. The Fantasy Football Show breaking news edition, week 13 waiver wire rankings. We'll do it on the board edition. That show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
So there is tremendous concern with this Buccaneer wide receiver situation if Baker is out for the long term. The report as of right now, this is the newest information. Baker will have an MRI on his injured left shoulder tomorrow. Per sources, x-rays were negative. That's a very good step in the beginning stages of this process, but Baker is not out of the woods yet because that MRI could reveal that he has a pretty bad or significant tear in his AC joint, or in the AC joint region in his shoulder. He was in a sling. It appeared to me that it is something that was very, very painful, of course, but it's his non-throwing shoulder. So as long as there isn't a surgery required or some sort of extreme damage that would make it to where he can't go out there, or he's going to make it so much worse, it'll be so painful. And it doesn't matter if it's his non-throwing shoulder. If he's got tears in there, moving at all, even on the right side of your body, is impossible. Like he won't be able to throw good throws. He'll be in agony and he'll make it worse. And there's no way to play through serious damage in the shoulder. So hopefully it's just a AC joint sprain, the least AC joint sprain variety we could think of, hopefully. And that way he misses maybe 0 to 1 games. If we've got Teddy Bridgewater out there slinging the rock, or not slinging the rock rather, Buka's value is definitely going to go down. Buka's been going down lately, but Buka's still a bona fide stud that is inside a rookie wall, inside of a Baker Mayfield slump, inside of now a changing of the guard, a QB, or I shouldn't say changing of the guard, but changing of quarterback potentially, at least for a week or two, hopefully not longer, hopefully no weeks, hopefully 0 weeks. But this is a lot of moving parts here to try and predict when Buka is or is not going to bounce back into wide receiver 1 status. Now, a lot of you are very quick, and I understand it's a reactionary thing. You're watching, Buka hasn't delivered. You're very quick to say Buka's trash. Buka's not a top 5 wide receiver. Buka's not a top 10 wide receiver. Buka's not a wide receiver 1. Buka's a flex play now. I've seen it in the live chat. There is some truth to the fact that he could be a wide receiver 3 type player for another week, another 2 weeks, maybe not. All I do know is he's a bona fide stud. He's an elite player that's in a really bad situation that's not his fault. He's a hard worker. I think they're going to do what they can to get him the football. I think Teddy Bridgewater, if he does start in week number 13, you'll probably have him a little bit better off with Bucky back. You'll probably have him more versed and practiced and ready. And he did deliver a nice little strike to Buka that got Buka from 2 catches and 0 yards with Baker up to 33 yards and 3 catches, which is not an amazing thing at all, but at least it was something. At least it got Buka back on the map. Buka, in embarrassing fashion, was the Bucs' #1 wide receiver. He had 2 catches for 0 yards. He caught 1 additional pass for 33 yards. Just 1 catch for 33 yards. And instantly became the team's top wide receiver. It was an embarrassment. It was absolutely putrid. And am I excited about the Tampa Bay Buccaneer team right now? No, I'm not. Am I excited about Bucky coming back and not having Baker? I mean, can we not have nice things? This is about as predictable as anything I can remember. Bucky's coming back. Really? What could go wrong before Bucky returns? How about the first game Bucky comes back, the team's injured and hampered? And it's like, geez, man, this season's been brutal. Absolute brutal season. So we'll have more on this. We can only speculate at this point, but if people are giving up on Buka, it's crazy to me. This guy's still, especially in Dynasty, go buy low. We're going to have a lot of Dynasty content on buying low on Buka. Emeka Buka is still a top 10 Dynasty wide receiver without a hesitation in my mind. And Baker, I still believe in Baker. I don't think Baker's falling apart. I mean, he's kind of falling apart physically. But I think he will still be a very good quarterback in this league for many, many years. I do believe he is the future of Tampa Bay's quarterback room. I'm not thinking he's falling apart or turning into a pumpkin or anything. Baker's a good quarterback. He's got that dog mentality. They've been banged up. They've had the entire wide receiver room flipped upside down. And if anybody thinks that's an easy thing to navigate, I got a bridge to sell you. So Baker should hopefully be out a minimum of hopefully, I don't even want to say. I want to speculate because I don't know. But if x-rays are negative, if the vibe I'm getting is a 0 to 2 or 0 to 3 week thing, I'm thinking 0 is still in the mix. That's why I'm not as extremely concerned as you might think I would be. But I'm also feeling a little optimistic about it. I have no information. This is guesswork at this point. And there's a chance he has such a big tear. He's got to have surgery and he's out at least 4 weeks. And that ends up being the fantasy season. We'll have to see. But Godwin going down, Evans going down, Buka having to carry all of the weight by himself. Tez has been pretty decent in the interim, but this is going to be something where Bucky comes back, even with Teddy under center. It's going to open things up a little bit for the entire wide receiver room. I still fully believe in Buka. I'm still buying Buka. And in Dynasty, this is probably the most exciting time you could be entering because there's a lot of buy low, situations. Bijan's a little cheaper than he should be. Lamb is a little cheaper than he should be, and Buka. In fact, I'll write these 3 down. Lamb, we're going to do a video on Lamb, Buka, and Bijan because I think those are probably the 3 best players to acquire in Dynasty right now because of the Panic Peters and Lamar. Even though Lamar, I know, is very, very disappointing right now, but those are 4 really, really, and Bowers. Let me just keep writing them down. Bowers is another one. That's going to be a good Dynasty video. I might even do a separate video, Dynasty, here in December. 1 video on each of those players. And guess where all the Dynasty content goes through? The Patreon. And so there'll be drops, little conversations, video uploads, even little live streams inside the Patreon app that's completely compartmentalized. Everything will be in there. And then I will do the videos on YouTube from the Patreon. So you're not going to not see it. On YouTube, I will drop videos, but I will be giving the early backstage, early access. Hey, here's what the video on YouTube is going to be tomorrow. Hey guys, I'm talking about these 4 players this week on YouTube Dynasty. Give you a lead on buying low on them. Hey guys, I'm going to do a live stream to talk about it. It's all going to go through the Patreon and be the hub for pretty much everything content related this offseason, especially as it is like behind the scenes. It's not going to be so much there's going to be written articles. There will be, but it's going to be more so conversations, video conversation uploaded, live stream, and it's all $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Join the Patreon family. Appreciate every single one of you that are on the Patreon already. More on Baker. We don't have any information. There's not much we can even say at this point or speculate. So it does no good to dance around a topic we have no clue or update on. So let's just play it by ear. But Buka still remains a potential wide receiver 1 at some point. We just don't know if it'll be this next week. Maybe he's wide receiver 2, 3. Maybe he bounces back right away. We don't know. This guy, Chip Kelly, is out as Raiders offensive coordinator, as he should be. Because you literally, the thing about it is, if the Patriots, who are winning, and you can say, oh, Smitty, they're winning, obviously they're doing something right. Yeah, You could say that, but you could also say the Philadelphia Eagles, oh, they're winning. Not today they didn't, but they're winning in general. They're doing something right too. But just because something's going well doesn't mean it can't go great. This guy's just sitting here watching his team not do even mediocre, so he's getting fired. But I see Vrabel not using Hendy, and they're winning, so no one's gonna look into that. Ownership doesn't care. Ownership doesn't have a clue. But no one's even going to say, even media pressure, hey, you should be using Hendy. It's like, hey, he's winning. And that sucks because it enables the use of Hendy. And we just see it over and over. We see the misuse of Ibuka right now. We see the misuse of so many players. It's wild to me to sit here and say, what are these coaches doing? Is it the turnover from year to year? Why are so many coaches and GMs and situations, the whole entire staff, so inept this year in terms of using players at the right time, unveiling players slowly when we know historically rookies can handle anything. They can jump in, feet to the fire, week 1, week 2, blow up. We saw BTJ explode his rookie year, wide receiver 4. I'm not thinking that Genti needs to be eased along, but Pete Carroll comes in like an absolute imbecile. It's like, we're going to ease him along real slowly. And Chip Kelly does such a bad job at everything he's doing over there that they don't use Bowers. They don't use Bowers to enable Genti or Genti to enable Bowers. It's a give and a take. It's a cascade effect. It's a reciprocation, which will then report all the way down to the defense and trickle down in a cycle. It's all an intertwined cycle. But I feel like we know way more than half of these teams in how to deploy talent and when to deploy it and what to do. And how to create room to run the football by stretching the field with Brock motherfreaking Bowers. Or how about when Buka's out there on the field, you don't just run these go routes in deep slants and drags. You have the guy catch the ball at the line of scrimmage and let him do what he's got to do to navigate downfield. Why is Buka not getting 4 or 5 quick slants or behind the line of scrimmage catches in wide back formation? Why am I sitting here, a talking head pundit, knowing more than the offensive coordinators and the coaches on half of these teams in the National Football League? And you can say, Smitty, you don't know Shiat. And I don't care what you think. If you're a negative hater and you think I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sitting here saying this is how I would get the most out of this player, and I know I'm right. And it's so painful to watch a coach misuse Hendy all year, and then when he uses him, when we've been screaming, Hendy's a top 5 running back in this league, maybe top 1 to 5 running back in this league. Okay, not above Gibbs because Gibbs is number 1.
You've just been.
But we're sitting here and we're looking at, not now, Kruger. We're sitting here, we're looking at Hendy blossom into a 260 total yard player. A guy that's averaging 4.9 yards per carry has motherfreaking 5 touchdowns in 2 games. And this imbecile Vrabel decides not to use him. Decides to go back to what he was doing when the offense was inept, ineffective, and lacking potency. When the offense was flaccid and it didn't have anything to show for in terms of especially the running game, which trickles and cascades over to the rest of this team. It's just asinine to me that we're sitting here as passerbyers, as fans and watchers of the game. And yes, a talking head, I do consider myself a professional at what I do, but I am on the sideline, of course, and I feel like I know more than half of these coaches. I feel like I'm sitting here watching someone not pull the trigger on something everybody knows you need to pull the trigger on. Give Hendy the damn ball. Put Harvey in. Here's his coach, Sean Payton's doing great things with his team, and everyone's like, look how good it is. And yes, we said that the Broncos would be good. Yes, we said Knicks would be good. But is Sean Payton dropping the ball on the running back usage? Absolutely. He puts Harvey in, and his whole offense starts to explode. It's just crazy to me to watch this unfold. It's crazy to me to watch these coaches, these offensive coordinators, more than I'd say a third of them in the NFL, literally just sleepwalk through part of their job for half of a season, quarter of a season, and sit here and go, we know better than you. What are you doing? What in the hell are you doing? How do you have Genti getting 6 carries? How does that even happen in a game, talking about last week? How do you not throw to Genty when you're in a game script that won't allow you to give him more than 10 carries? How do you not feed Sean Tucker all season long as the Rachaad White ball carrier? How do you not know this? Anyway, good news for the Raiders. Good news for Genty. Could Genty climb up fantasy football value charts and become somewhat more so closely resembling the player we predicted him to be in week 1, week 2, pre-week 1? Maybe. We don't know if things will get better. Will they get better? The guy in charge is the guy that hired this guy. So how do we know he's going to do the right thing? I don't know. He's the guy that said we're going to bring Genty along slowly. So is this the scapegoat? I mean, he's certainly not a solution to the problem, but is he a scapegoat? Maybe. Maybe Pete Carroll needs to be fired more than they need to fire Chip Kelly. So we will see what happens moving forward. But all I got to say is if Genty isn't used and if Bowers doesn't get 10 targets a game, I don't know what firing Chip Kelly was about. Just posturing, scapegoat. That's all it is. Hopefully that changes. We'll move that over here. This piece of news here: Alvin Kamara MCL sprain, according to a source, avoided a major injury, but we'll see how it progresses. He could take a little time, but nothing super serious. You know, I hate when people write this. Nothing super serious. MCLs take you out for 2, 3, 4 games. What do you mean nothing super serious? He's an older player who's now going to miss, if I had to guess, you're talking about week 13, 14, 15, at least maybe 16. This could be a 4-week injury, at least a 2. I mean, if he's not a 2-week injury, he's going to get injured again. But an MCL sprain of any variety is at least a 1 to 2 week injury. It's a painful injury. It's the most painful injury of all of the knee ligament injuries. It's the one that aches for years upon being healed. It's the one where the weather changes and your MCL aches on the inside of your knee. Your knees bang together. You got to sleep with a pillow in between your legs so that your knee doesn't hit your other knee while you sleep for a year. The MCL is a painful injury. And it's definitely one, unless he suffered not even a grade 1, like it's a minor, just almost like a bruising of that side of his knee, then sure, he could maybe come back after maybe 0 to 1 games. But if this is an MCL tear at all, he's out for 2, 3, and everyone acts like MCLs don't take out players for 2, 3, 4 weeks. It's insane to me. So Devin Neal, we'll talk about him on the waiver board. I don't know if Travis is out there. Travis, you can dial in now if you want, and we'll go over the waiver board. I think I have a pretty good list of names already up on waivers. Pickens is a monster. Pickens is the man, the myth, the legend. If you're mad at Lamb, ignore Lamb right now, okay? Look away.
Lamb.
Focus on Pickens.
Pickens. Lamb. Pickens.
Focus on Pickens. Pickens is a fantastic player that's going to be such a fun offseason topic. We're big Pickens fans here, very big Pickens fans. We were very critical of his diva mentality in Pittsburgh, but we knew that he would reset over in Dallas at least for 1 year, hit pause on the absolute craziness, and at the end of the day, he's going to get paid a big fat bag. But he is playing for a coach and an organization that drags their feet like no other when it comes to an extension. And it's going to be hard to imagine this being a smooth operation in the offseason. Meaning we're probably going to have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 really early live streams on the Pickens situation. We're probably going to have 15 to 20 total Pickens live streams on the offseason before the NFL draft. If he's not signed after the NFL, how long is this going to take for a guy named Jerry Jones, who drags his feet like no other, Now, Pickens is a unrestricted free agent, but he can be franchise tagged. He will most likely be franchise tagged. Javonte Williams is an unrestricted free agent. He too will need to be retained, and they can't use the tag on both of them. And Pickens is clearly the more valuable player than Javonte. No offense to Javonte, but Pickens will be tagged, and Pickens will not like the tag. The players call the tag the prison tag because it holds the player in place, and they don't like it. Nor should they. The franchise tag was never designed to be used for running backs or wide receivers or tight ends or any other position but quarterback. The franchise tag was merely designed for the quarterback position so that a team can hold on to a player, work out a long-term deal more times than not, and not be meant to hamper the player. Now, I will say this. I don't really feel bad for a player that's getting the average of the top 5 annual salaries averaged for one calendar year. Don't feel bad about that. So I'm not feeling bad for Travis. You can call in if you want. We'll go over the waiver stuff right now. I don't feel bad for a player that's getting paid the top 5 wide receiver salary just because they can't get a long-term deal worked out. Look what Pickens did. He banked on himself and said, I don't need a new contract. Trade for me and let me go earn a bag. And Pickens probably doubled the amount of money he's going to get by just not wanting an extension early. It didn't seem like it was a great idea at the time, I'll admit, because you could get hurt, all those different things. But Pickens absolutely earned his bag. Pickens is going to get whatever the hell he wants. Now, I will say that everyone crapping on Lamb left and right, it's a little weird because I understand he pissed you off. I understand he didn't deliver. I understand he's dropped a lot of footballs over the last 2 weeks. But Lamb Chops has earned, I believe, enough of our respect. And he's done enough good that I think you should be able to overlook some slumpage. And if you're not ready to move on, I get it. You can just say not ready yet, Smitty. That's fine. But I'm telling you, I'm going to buy Lamb in Dynasty at every turn, if at all possible. If I can get this kid low, I'm absolutely jumping all over it. Let's get into the waiver wire after I get these super chats out of the way real quickly. We have 3 of them that are waiting here. Buka's last catch locked you into the playoffs. I'm keeping the faith. Yeah, and I can't guarantee that next week he will be amazing. I can just tell you that he is amazing, and his situation is not. But let's see what they do about changing that. Like I said, I'm sitting here left scratching my head how it is a team full of coaches. Not one of them speaks up or has the courage to speak up and make a suggestion of let's get Buka the ball in Wildcat territories. Not Wildcat, I'm sorry, wide back territories. Let's get him the ball at the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage, 1 yard in front of the line of scrimmage, a quick 1 or 2 yard quick slant. Have him drag right across just the front of the offensive line as he lines up in the slot and catch the football right about at the hash, and get this guy in a horizontal fashion so he can turn upfield on his own, decide what path he wants to take with the ball already in his hand, essentially turn him into a kick returner. But for whatever reason, this entire staff from top to bottom has no courage or no ability to make a suggestion. Bowles looks like he's out there, I don't know. He looks like he's in pain every time they show him. Looks like he's upset. Looks like he doesn't understand what's going on. I like Bowles. I've always liked Bowles. But are we looking at, and we talked about this on the Patreon, are we looking at Andy Reid and looking at Bowles and saying, are these guys turning into Bill Belichick? You know, there's a topic on the Patreon. I'm not necessarily saying Andy Reid is done or anything, but maybe this is like a slow frog boiling in hot boiling water. You throw him in, he jumps out of the hot water, right? But you put him in lukewarm water, turn the stove on high, and the water starts to get hotter and hotter and hotter, and the frog's in there. It's getting hotter. The frog doesn't notice, and the frog boils to death. He doesn't jump out. You throw him in hot water, he jumps out. Are we just watching Andy Reid and saying, oh, it's fine, just like we did Bill Belichick? How many years, raise your hand, that you just think, oh, no, Bill will be fine? And then it's like, okay, well, Bill will be fine. And then it was like, Bill will be fine. And then it was like, Bill sucks. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Andy Reid. I still think Andy Reid's probably still got it. I don't know. It's honestly, you could blame it on Mahomes and Reid all you want, but if you really watched the game, if you didn't just box score Bobby or red zone Ronnie the Sunday, and you watched the Chiefs play, you know that Mahomes did everything he could. I believe Andy Reid actually called a really good game with what he had. And it was everybody else, the players, everybody, even Rice at sometimes, dropping the ball constantly. Penalties, big play. Brashard Smith had a long 30 or 40-yard reception that was called back because of a holding penalty. It was nonstop, and Mahomes eventually stopped throwing the ball in like the early fourth quarter and said, I'm just going to run it. And he ran it like 2-3 straight times, got first downs, did this, did that. Said, I don't trust any of you. So I don't even know if it was Andy Reid, to be honest. All right, so let me go over this waiver stuff and screwed up. And like I said, Travis, if you're out there, dial in. Screwed up playing Brissett over Dak. Fortunately, still won. Yeah, then it's not a big deal. Rock out. You actually didn't make a mistake. Thank you for the super chat. Lamar has been bunned, so do I start him or Stafford week 13? Man, I don't think you can sit Stafford right now. I know the moment you do that, Lamar is going to go crazy, but you know what? You got to take it for the team, and you got to help fix for Lamar. It's on you, bro. Stafford's almost unbenchable at this point. Just the weapons are too good. The team's too good. Are the Rams the best team in the NFC? They might be. At least right now. I mean, that does change. Remember Green Bay? Parsons got traded over. It was like, and then they had a little stretch where everyone's like, this is the Super Bowl winner. And now they're not. Eagles, even up to last week, it's like no one's going to touch the Eagles. Even if they're a little boring on offense, no one can touch them. Look at today. You know, I'm not saying the Eagles are going to fold. They're certainly going to be a top 4 or 5 team in the NFC, if not top 2 team in the NFC. But I wonder if the Rams are the best team in the NFC. I think they might be. At least for now. That could definitely change. Don't worry about it, rock out. You did fine, young man. This one here, top 5 running backs rest of season. Top 5 running back. Coach, you're asking something that we gotta. I mean, it's obviously it's gonna be Gibbs, JT, and then if CMC stays healthy, he's number 3. We don't know who's gonna be next. Is it can Bijan even? Bijan's Achane, probably Achane, and then Bijan's still right there. Bijan's right there. They got a lot of players that are in the mix right there, but that's kind of like we need to digest and let the dust settle. But I mean, Gibbs is the clear one. Rashee Rice had a day. He did have a day, but he could have had a bigger day if he caught everything thrown his way. He did have a touchdown opportunity, and he didn't. It doesn't matter if the ball is thrown behind him. I mean, your quarterback's getting hit. Your quarterback's getting rushed. You got to adjust to your quarterback. Your quarterback can't always deliver a really good football. And so it is what it is. Screwed up in playing. Okay, I got that one. I already did. I don't know why I keep seeing a duplicate of that. All right, let's get to these waiver wires. I guess Travis isn't out there, so I will look and pull up these percentages and roster percentages. Let's go over on the board over here. I'll put it up over here on the screen. I've dropped a couple names early, but we do need to add names. Strange, Loveland, and also I don't know why I have Strange up there twice. Let me remove. It's strange. It's strange that Strange is on there twice. Brissett, JD5. Make sure JD5 isn't available. There was I don't even know if it was AI. But there was footage of Ayuk talking to JD5 and JD5 saying, I'm back next week. We just don't know with today's day and age whether it's AI or not. All right, so running backs, Devin Neal, Rodriguez, Michael Wilson, DK, Yoshi Voss. You have T. Higgins with a concussion, could miss 1 game at least. We've got Brissett, like I said. We got Strange and Loveland over. We got Taysom Hill also with the injury to Kamara, might put more onus on Taysom Hill usage. So we got that. If anybody wants to add anybody to the list, please put a green check mark. I won't see anything you're writing if you don't have a green check mark emoji next to the player. So you're just wasting your breath. So if anybody or wasting your time typing, put a green check mark. I'm sorting only by the green check mark. Who you would like to add, and we'll take a look at it. Again, wasting your time if you don't have a green check mark by it. Waller, you could put Waller on here. I'm not super high on Waller right now, but maybe that changes as the week unfolds. I'm not saying don't add him. I just don't know if I'm gonna write him on the board. But definitely drop any suggestions you have here on in the chat. We'll start putting them up. I might do a more uh, dedicated video to this later. Kendre Miller, I suppose. Tez, definitely, guys, put a green check mark for the love of God. Tez, we'll put Kendre Miller down here for now. Tez is definitely somebody that I think deserves to be in the mix here, so we'll put Tez here. I don't know if we'll order these later, if we'll reorder them. Tez is a nice ad. Dylan Sampson certainly worth talking about. Cam Ward, I guess. Neil's already up there, so you see him, don't you? T's probably missing one game. It could be longer. It did not look like a one of those like easy peasy, barely concussed. It was a major head injury. Higgins definitely a good addition. We'll put Higgins right here. Higgins on the board. Let me see if I can turn down this. So we don't have a glare there. Tez, we've got Jameis. Yeah, Jameis needs to be up there. Winston, Reed, Trey Tucker, Winston. Yeah, Winston. Definitely Winston. Loveland's on that list. Can you see him already? Winston. We'll put Winston over here at QB. Probably, yeah. I'd almost say Winston might go one, but Brissett's still in the mix. I mean, he's still in the mix for that top grab because Brissett just does amazing things, man, in a very short amount of time. Scored 200. Smitty, good job, game. Nice job. Damian Pierce, I don't know. We'll see on that one. Jaden Reed, make sure you add the green check mark. No one's reading. No one's reading it if you don't have a green check mark. Jaden Reed, we'll put Reed right here. We're just talking about the green check mark emoji. You have it in your emoji list. Use the green check mark if you want to have your player suggested on here. Dortch, Pacheco, Watson, Christian Watson for sure. Put Watson. What was the other name that I just saw? Pacheco, Mechie. Mechie on here. Sean Tucker still needs to be grabbed. He's still going to have a role. Sean Tucker, Mooney, Isaiah Bond. Those are two good suggestions. Mooney and Bond. DK's already on the list. Mooney, Bond. Both good suggestions. Devin Neal's already on the list, bro. Just take a look at it. It's like right in front of you. Parker Washington. Yeah, he still should be available. We'll put Wash here. Saints D. Oh, Travis, if you try calling, call back again. I don't know if I missed your call. I don't even know if Travis was in here. I just saw him, and then they never called in, so I'm not sure. Bond, I put on there. Fannin still needs to be added. Dart, if he's available. Yeah, Dart might. I'm gonna take JD5 off. Just make sure JD5 isn't. I could put him like right here. Make sure JD5 isn't available. We'll put Dart right here. Dart, probably the top QB. Christian Kirk, I suppose, does need Fannin. Fannon's a good addition. Fannin got cut in a lot of leagues. What was the other one that you just said? Theo's a good one. Kirk. Yeah, probably Kirk. Theo Johnson, tight end for the New York Giants. Put him on there. Slayton. Burrow's not available. Brian Robinson Jr. I still agree with that one. I'm gonna put him on here. B. Rob Jr. Forum. Those feel like the top way. I don't know that there's a ton of other players. Sanders for sure. He definitely has some upside. He's been held back. I mean, what Sanders accomplished today was pretty remarkable considering how ridiculous. Benson, I don't think, is Benson available in enough leagues? I don't know if he is. Let's see here. Let's see, Benson. His Benson's ownership, but yeah, 70, man, he's available in 30% of leagues. That's crazy. It's absolutely asinine. Well, good thing I left the top spot there for him. Benson's the only league winner really on this board, in my opinion. Not that Winston or Brissett or Dart can't help somebody that's you've got the amazing team with the injury at quarterback. Not that Wilson isn't delivering pretty close to damn near elite numbers right now. He's still awesome. He's near league winning in a sense that you get a wide receiver 3. But Benson is the one that has the most league winning upside, I think, out of all the players on the list. Devin Neal, Miller, I don't know. I'm not as big of a fan of that rushing attack. It's going to be split, so not too sure how I feel about Gainwell. Yeah, Gainwell should be on there. Lockett, I don't know. I suppose Lockett. We'll put Lockett right here. Gainwell definitely. Almost could say. Almost like Gainwell over Neal. So we'll put Gainwell here. We'll put Neal right here. Wilson, DK, Higgins, Yoshi Voss, Watson. I could kind of throw those wide receivers around a little bit, but I think Wilson deserves to be the top wide receiver. I'm going to underline the top guy just to emphasize. Dart would be the top guy. Strange and Loveland would be kind of tied, I think, as being the top 2 guys to add. This kind of feels like the top week, and this is week 13, I'm sorry. Week 13 waiver board. I don't know that there's anybody that's been missing. Corm's already up there. Burden definitely needs to be added. Blake Corm's already on it. Take a gander. It's already there. Mike Evans. Let's say Evans maybe around this territory. Evans could climb up easily. Who was the other one that you listed? I saw somebody's suggestion that I liked. It was Burden. Burden might be. Let's put Tez here and Burden here. We'll erase and fit him in. Yoshi Boss. We don't know if Evans is coming back, but Yoshi Boss. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Bigsby, Wilson's already on there. Corm's already on there. Yeah, Tootin still needs to be on there. You guys can get mad at Tootin all you want. Tootin is probably in this area. Tootin still league winning, still very, very league winning. Probably as much as a lot of you are going to say, you forget Tootin. Tootin's trash. Tootin's still league winning. Tootin league winning. Benson league winning. Michael Wilson, I would say not league winning, but definitely going to help you if you're in a bind. DK looks really nice. Higgins is nice. Darts, semi-league winning. Strange, Loveland, I wouldn't call him league winning, but the only player league winning is Benson, maybe Tootin, if they get into the right spot. That's the waiver wire board for week number 13. We'll address it. If anybody wants to add something later, especially during like phone calls, I'll certainly go over and add that. But I think that covers pretty much the majority of the waiver wire walking into week number 13. I'll do a standalone video on it. But Benson, Tootin, Tucker, Gainwell, Neal, B-Rob, Rodriguez, Corum, Miller, Michael Wilson at wide receiver, DK, Higgins, Evans, Yoshivas, Watson, Dortch, Tez, Burden, Reed, Dart at quarterback, Brissett, Winston, Sanders, JD5, make sure he's not out there. He'd be number 1. Strange, Loveland, Taysom Hill with the injury to Kamara, Fannin, Theo. There you go. That's it. I think that's the waiver wire. Manungai, definitely Manungai. Let me add Manungai on there. Where's Manungai go? Manungai probably goes, let's say maybe right where kind of Tootin is. I think Tootin and Manungai are very, very close. So we'll leave it at that. Nice job. Good work. Appreciate you all. Kendra Miller. I don't know why when you said that, I wrote it on there. I don't know why I wrote it on there. He's off. Kendra Miller off. Benson, Tucker, Gainwell, Neal, Brian Robinson Jr., Rodriguez, Corum, Tootin, Manungai. Those are the RBs. There it is. We'll go ahead and attack any other names that come up. Corum's on there. You keep putting Corum. Put you in timeout, bro. You keep listing Corum. He's on there. He's on the damn thing, bro. He's on the. Think about it for 1 minute, okay? Miller. Yeah, Miller's not around anymore. Kendra Miller is not available. He's not going to save you. All right. Super chats, then a few phone calls. And then we start fresh tomorrow. AJB and 8 receptions, 110 in the TD. They lost, but he was happy. I know. AJB. Hey, AJB, would you rather be happy and win, or happy and not win, or not get the ball but win? AJB just wants the ball. That's all he wants. He doesn't care. He doesn't want to win. He doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't want to do anything. Here's a few, by the way, here's a few new emojis that we have here. If anybody hasn't noticed, we've got the Rashi Rice emoji. You can see that one right there. We've got the Rico Dowdle emoji. You can check that one out. That Rico one's there. We have the JT emoji. I know he didn't do well this week, but you can see those emojis. Feel free to use them. They're fresh. They're hot off the press. We'll add some more, but love the new additional emojis. Mahmoud says AJB went off. He's happy. I agree. He's happy. Now, I think AJB might be disappointed because they don't play the Cowboys every week. Frustrating to watch Pat's game. Show your 2018 video. Do I even have it here? I don't know. Here it is, I think. Someone asked me today, what player comes to mind as far as like a rags to riches player, a player that can go from a flex or running back 3 or running back 4 type of area all the way up to being a top 5 to 10 running back moving forward. And the one player that comes to mind is Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry had that appeal heading into the 2018 fantasy football season until the Tennessee Titans acquired Deion Lewis. And I think that everybody's kind of forgetting the upside that he has if he's getting starter carries. Now, will he is tough to say. That's what makes him kind of a risk in entering the next few weeks. But I think that of any player in the entire league, he is one guy I would not drop or recommend dropping in redraft. Henry when he... Yes, I was. I actually loved Derrick Henry more than anybody. That was back when Henry was not able to steal the job from Deion Lewis. And it wasn't... I know a lot of people want to blame Vrabel there, but in defense, and I'd never defend Vrabel if I could, avoid it. Henry couldn't hit the hole. Henry had no quick step, and it was on Henry. Henry just looked awful. He'd get the ball, and he'd fall down. He kind of looked like he looks now, Traded Nico and Jaylen Warren for Rome and Henry. Isn't it always weird how the next question always has to do the players in that next question? Trade Nico and Jaylen Warren for Rome and Henry. I don't think so, bro. I like Henry. I like him as a buy low, but think about what you're doing here. What have I told you guys about Henry and Barkley and even Lamar? You buy them at pennies on the dollar, or you don't go after him. I know everyone's mad at Lamar, but Lamar, you're either getting at 4th or 5th or 6th round value, or you shouldn't have traded for him. I never once said anybody should trade for Lamar at his draft day value. You're taking him on a huge discount because you can afford to have a bad game. Even though Lamar had a bad week 12, you still bought him so cheaply, or you weren't listening. That it matters, but it doesn't. You're hoping that he bounces back. Henry, nobody should be buying Derrick Henry at his 2nd round value. Henry is now worth so much less than he was. And guess where Nico Collins is going to rank if we're drafting today for weeks 13 through 17? Probably somewhere in this territory. So Nico would go, even if it was here. You're telling me that you're buying Henry right here. I'm telling you not to. I'm telling you Henry deserves to be a freaking round 5 player in a sense, or 4. You're buying Henry over here, but yet you're trying to get rid of this guy. You're buying Henry at the value I'm screaming not to buy Henry at. Absolutely not. And Rome doesn't close the gap because Rome's going to live in an inconsistent world. So absolutely not. I like Henry, but you need to get a whole boatload more. You need to trade. I don't want to trade Booker right now, but Booker's got lower value than Nico. You almost go that route, or you do something different. But absolutely not. J-Mo last week would have got you Derrick Henry just by adding a little more. Now J-Mo with a no-catch game, they go back to not throwing to him. Harder to trade J-Mo, if impossible to trade J-Mo right now, period. But that you're way overpaying on that. Absolutely not, bro. I don't mind getting Derrick Henry, but that's awful value. That's overpaying to an extreme degree. You're buying him as if he's not even declining, Tootin over Moore this week may cost me my playoffs. Yeah, but bro, Moore was banged up. DJ Moore, that's not something you can beat yourself up over. Not to mention, they mentioned getting Burden the ball more. Moore was playing injured. He's a diverse, dynamic player that they get the ball to in unique ways. But if it doesn't happen, if he's injured or they don't get him to him, he can't necessarily that. It's a tough call, bro. It's a tough call. I'm sorry, Jack, that didn't work for you, my boy. I take it all hard when I see people not make the playoffs or have a bad output based on anything I am involved in. I admit I thought Tootin was going to have a good day, but it was a risk. I very clearly told everyone, you go Tootin, you're going high risk, high reward. The problem is a lot of people hear it and they're like, no, I got it. Yeah, no, totally. Hey, you realize it's high risk, high reward. Nope. Yep. We're good. And then when Tootin doesn't do well, it's like, hey, nice call on Tootin. It's like, well, Tootin was a high risk, high reward play. The high risk was that he was banged up heading into the game. So you got to really understand when you're dealing with steady Eddie or high risk, high reward, you could get the high risk. You could get the 2-point, 3-point game. High risk, high reward means they're probably going to get you 2 or 3 points, or 18 or 20 or something like that. And it's really hard to, DJ Moore. What did DJ Moore do? Pull up DJ Moore. He definitely can be hot and cold, and having an injury just makes it so hard. Look at Tootin having an injury. Both of them were banged up, But DJ Moore having 2 touchdowns and 64 yards, like, it's not like he was saturated. He had 2 really good touchdown grabs. The week prior, he had 18 yards. The week prior, he had 4 targets and 0 yards and he had 0 points. I mean, DJ Moore he was wide receiver 0. He was like the worst wide receiver in the entire league as a starter because he got 0 points, 4 targets, 0 points in week 10. DJ Moore in week 11 was wide receiver 75 with 18 yards on 1 catch. And then he has 2 touchdowns and 64 yards. DJ Moore hadn't had a touchdown reception in 7 games straight prior to that game. You can't beat yourself up over it, Jack. You know, Jack gifted a membership. Whoever got that, thank Jack for being such a amazing dude. Josh Allen down the stretch has you super nervous. I wouldn't be that nervous, bro. Josh Allen is a baller. You know, if you look at the leaderboards, quarterbacks, Josh Allen's number 1. You know, like, what are you nervous about? Can he have a bad game? Sure. Sure can. But how about 18 touchdown passes? How about the man has 10 rushing touchdowns this year? How about he has 28 total touchdowns through week number 28 divided by 11 is 2.54. Is 28 correct? He is 18 to 10 times 17. The man's on 43 total touchdown pace. How nervous can you really be about Josh Allen? How often does Josh Allen... I'm just trying to get inside your head because I feel like a lot of people say things like this. How often has Josh Allen not delivered? He's been QB1 in week 1, QB 25 in week 2, then QB 5, then QB 7, then QB 12, and then QB 17, then QB 9, QB 3, QB 8, QB 1, QB 20. He's the most consistent quarterback in the game. I don't know why he would worry you. Anything can happen, but that's the last player I'm worried about at all in fantasy is Josh Allen. That's the one player I think I want more than anybody. And anybody that started Josh Allen and said I should have started Stafford or I should have started, don't stop. You're not benching Josh Allen. You're just not. If you're benching Josh Allen, it's probably not the sport for you. Doesn't matter how it worked out. We're talking about an odds game. And yeah, any game. Winston outscored Josh Allen. Winston outscored a lot of quarterbacks. Stafford outscored most every quarterback. But doesn't mean week in and week out you're all contemplating or you're getting it wrong 9 times out of 10 if you're making those kind of weird moves. Josh Allen is going to be fine. And I bet my season on it. And if it didn't work out, it was a good bet to make. It was a very responsible way to look at it. So I'm not trying to blast the opinion. I'm just saying, bro, it's the last 2 weeks. Well, it's not the last 2 weeks, bro, because he was QB1 the week prior. So what do you mean it was the last 2 weeks? Week 12, he was QB 20. Oh, the last 2 weeks of the season? You mean Cleveland and Philadelphia? Is that what you mean? I mean, look, bro, he played, KC was QB3. He played Carolina QB9, KC QB3. I mean, I understand you want to try and play like schedule games, but Josh Allen could bring the thunder and run for 2 or 3 touchdowns in even a low scoring QB game. I get it, bro. I'm not saying you wouldn't like. Yeah, the last 2 games. I get you. I hear you. Cleveland's, you know, a game that I could see being problematic, but Josh Allen will navigate that. Philly, look at what Dallas just did to Philly. I don't think Philly's invincible. I think Philly's opportunistic. I think Philly can close a game out. I think Philly's good clutch type, you know, defensive play. But I mean, Dak was able to feed Pickens. I think Dak could have had a better game, sure. You know, CD dropped a bunch of passes. Like, what do you want from him? You know, Dak did what he could. I think Josh Allen is the perfect quarterback to navigate that type of schedule down the stretch. Jack, appreciate you very much. This one here from KJV, 1-4, now 7-5. Traded my way into my current team. Watching Smitty cook up trades help tremendously. Thanks. Thank you, KJ. V, I appreciate you. I'm glad you're having some killer success right now, bro. The sad part about what I do is no matter what, and this used to be more the case when everybody played like in one league, one or two leagues, where it's like as the season moves along, you have 8 people that are still in it and 4 people in every league that are not. So if you think about it, I have 12 viewers here, 12 viewers here. You just keep putting them in like 12, like a room of 12. So I got a room full of 12 people here, a room full of 12 people here. If I've got 1,000 people watching, like right now we got 600 on YouTube. So 12 people here, 12 people here in all these different rooms. And so you get to like week 13, 14, and 4 or 5 of them, the lights go out. And I've got 8 people left in these rooms because people are so pissed off they're losing. And naturally, people are going to be out of their league. It's just going to happen. Injuries. I'm in the Marsman League, and I can't buy a win. I got one of the best teams in the league, and I've got 3 wins in the Marsman League. I'm going to lose again. Actually, let me check and see how it fared. It happens. I mean, sometimes you have bad points against. The Marsman League, I got a killer team. My team is phenomenal. Even made a trade, and I'm going to lose. I have a 0% chance to win the game. And the trade wouldn't have mattered, though. I would have probably scored, let's see. Monty had 6 points. Yeah, I still would have lost the game even if I didn't do that trade, but I traded for Jamar Chase last night on the live show. But I've got a great team. My team is Stafford, Kyron did nothing, but Stafford, Kyron, Monty, Rice, Jefferson, Jamar Chase. My team's phenomenal. I mean, JJ, Jamar Chase, Buka, it's crazy. Rice, Kyron, Stafford. How do you get 3 wins with that team? I mean, it's crazy. So what I was saying was the part of what I do that sucks is that you're naturally going to have a lot of people like drop off as the season moves along. It's a depressing part about what I do. Must be like a doctor, how you have all these patients and then over the years they start to fall off. You know, if you work in a nursing home, let's say, that's the way it feels for me because I have to watch really good teams, really good people. Really, everyone's going to start dropping off. And even if you play in 4 leagues, there's still a certain percentage that every one person is going to be winning one championship, even if you play in 4 leagues. So you're naturally going to see people get disheartened and feel very sad. And they're going to I don't want to watch fantasy anymore. I hear that like 15 times a day. The only thing I can tell you guys is that stuff happens and it's part of the game and why you actually started to watch it. And I can only urge you to tune in to the offseason. It all starts January 1 and start attacking next year in January 1 if you are in such a bad situation where injury struck you or busts or bad calls or whatever the hell happened to your squads. If you're in dire straits, January 1, we kick it in not only into dynasty gear, but we kick it into gear for 2026. And that goes for all the streams on where is this guy going to get traded to? He's a free agent. Where is he going to land? George Pickens is an example. But I urge you all to not have this like mentality of, hey, I lost this year if you did. Or let's say you got 1 league out of 3 or 4 that's still in the mix and you're having a bad year. Don't let it make you run away from the game. The reason you got into this was for the challenge. And if the challenge is beating you down, you just need to rethink about why you're doing it. Because why you're doing it isn't just a win. It's the challenge and the fun of doing it and doing it right. Be sure to watch who gets dropped in your league even more than usual. Players like Marks, Tootin, Pierce, etc. will get dropped. Very good advice. Definitely, Murph. We'll keep tabs on that. That definitely is going to happen. Let's open up the phone lines and
call into the show. Call into the show.
I saw Travis in here in the beginning, but and then I didn't see him again. So I told him to call in, but I don't think he's here. So we got through the waiver wire anyway. For those that missed it, I'll probably do another video on that. But I didn't go through any percentages of ownership available, but I think this feels like a good board. Benson, Tootin, Tucker, Gainwell. You can get mad at Tootin all you want. You can get mad at him all you want. It is what it is. I'll rewrite it. Tootin and Monungai kind of go right where Tucker is. Tucker, Monungai, Tootin, Gainwell, Devin Neal, Brian Robinson Jr., Rodriguez, Corum. You see the wide receivers there led by Michael Wilson Jr., DK, Higgins, Evans, Yoshi Voss, Watson, Dart leads the QBs if he's available. Brissett, Winston, Sanders, JD5. Make sure he's not available. JD5 will be number 1 on probably the entire waiver board if he is available. Strange, Loveland, Taysom Hill, Fan, and Theo. Probably a few others that I'll eventually get to, but that is the waiver board as of right now. We will now get into phone calls. Phone lines are open. I don't even know if my phone lines are working. Might be part of the problem. Is Rice and Moore for Jamar a good trade? DJ Moore? Yeah, I would take Jamar. Of course. Cap says, I'm not in the playoffs in any of my leagues. First time ever, but I'm having a blast playing. That's what I'm talking about. And I hate to hear that. It makes me sad that he's not in a play. But Caps is an amazing guy that loves, the fight. And look, I mean, we did this the other night. I don't think maybe we can do it now. I don't know. Let me see. Let me pull up the ADP rankings from thefantasyfootballshow.com from back on September 1. And let's just take a gander. I think when people see this, they're more forgiving of their self and everything that they endured by just looking at the ADP ranks from back in 2025 September 1 territory. So this will be 1 through 24, I think. And then let me take a screenshot of the rest of these guys. And the busts and disappointments are just absolutely through the roof. So this is the top 50 overall. So this is 25 through 50. Let me put these on screen right now, and we'll go through them real quickly. I don't know that I want to go through them. I want to do a video on this, so we're probably not going to hit this as hard, but this is absolutely brutal when you look at this. It's so disappointing when you see how many players just flat out busted. Okay, so you look at this one right here. Jamar Chase, he's definitely not, he's not delivered. So let's see. Jamar Chase, I would say, what do you guys say? Not a bust, but not a good play. So if we were to put a line like he didn't do well, so a check mark will be amazing and worth their ADP. Amazing. A line will be meh. And then we'll put an X as a bust. And that's an injury or bust. It doesn't matter. A bust is a bust. So what do you guys think on Jamar Chase so far? I'm not saying Jamar can't bounce back. We're not talking about weeks 12 through, or weeks 13. Damn, I can't believe we're on week 13. Weeks 13 through 17. But where are you guys ranking Jamar as of right now? Like a flat out line? Like this? He's all right. He's decent. He's earned his value a little bit here and there, but not quite good enough. All right, so we got a meh. Bijan. I think Bijan. What's Bijan ranking right now? And guys, put the name of the player, because I don't want to get 3 players down and you're still talking about player 2. So put the player's name and whether you think they're meh, M-E-H, amazing, or bust. Okay, so now we're on to Bijan. And if we look at the leaders at running back right now, Bijan's still number 4. I don't think we can say he's anything but a success at this point because he's still delivering. So Bijan, we're going to go ahead and put a check mark. I don't think you can put a dash, a line, which equals meh. I don't think we can do that because Bijan's in the top 5 running backs. CeeDee Lamb. What wide receiver rank is CeeDee Lamb? I'm looking. I don't see him. I'm scrolling. I don't see him. I'm scrolling. Whether I think he's a good buy low in Dynasty, whether I believe in him to a degree now, kind of doesn't matter, does it? Where's Lamb at? 34. That is a bust. So our first bust would be CeeDee Lamb. Jahmyr Gibbs. Can we put 7 check marks here, please? Saquon Barkley. Bust. Major bust. Justin Jefferson. Major bust, even if he's still playing. Christian McCaffrey, major check mark at this stage in the game. Nico Collins, I would say he's meh because you took him at 8 overall. Malik Neighbors, doesn't matter that he got hurt. he's an absolute bust. He busted on everybody that drafted him. Puka Nacua is wide receiver what? I mean, as much as we want to say Puka Nacua is the best thing since sliced bread, he's been injured. He's been continuously, where is he at? Puka Nacua. Where's Puka ranking? 3. There you go. Boom. Okay, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Where's he ranking? Boom. Anyway, what I was saying, as much as Puka Nacua, CD's got an X. As much as Puka Nacua has been banged up and injured, and he's constantly injured. He's in the locker room 4 times. He's missed time. Puka still ranks wide receiver 3. So Puka is a for sure check mark. Check mark to Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra ranks as wide receiver number 5. That's a smash. Brian Thomas Jr., total and utter bust. Total and utter bust. Ashton Genty, total and utter bust. Doesn't matter if he's playing a little better now. Ashton Genty, bust. Let me see if I can line these up a little bit better. Go boom, boom. Okay, Derrick Henry, utter bust. That's way too high for Derrick Henry. He was a total avoid on draft day. Drake London, utter bust right now. Devon Achane, smash. So Puka, smash. Amon-Ra, smash. Christian McCaffrey, smash. And Bijan, smash. And Gibbs, smash. So far, there's a decent amount. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 players out of the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 8 out of 16 players in the top 15, 16. Top 16, 8 players out of the top 16 are utter busts. Half of the entire top 16 is a bust. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. Genty is still a check mark? No, he's not. All right, where are we at? London, if you want to put London as May, I'm fine with that. Because London does rank, 6, 7, but he's out now. So I'm fine with that. Yeah, I think London being ranking in the 6, 7. I don't know what he'll finish when the stats update from today. I don't think they're updated now. He'll probably fall out of the top 8 or 10. But he was top 6 walking to the week. So I think it is fair to put him at least as a meh. Maybe a check mark. I can get behind that, and then it might translate down to a AJ Brown is wide receiver. What is AJ Brown? Walking into this week, AJ Brown was wide receiver what? Now, what was AJ Brown? AJ Brown was wide receiver. Am I missing him? Why am I still scrolling? Jeez, 36. Jeez. AJ Brown, utter bust. Brock Bowers, utter bust. Doesn't matter if he was injured. He busted on you. Chase Brown, where's he ranking for RBs? $17. I think that's it's not a green check mark, but it's not a bust. We'll put him as a meh. Bucky, doesn't matter. Injury doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if he's going to do good from here on out. He busted. Lab McConkey, definitely busting from this value. This is a no-go territory. I said don't draft him here. Jonathan Taylor, can we get more check marks than 1? Taylor was a machine. So far, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 busts out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 11 out of 22. 50% bust rate through the top 22 overall. You get the point? It's been a disastrous year. And we could go on, and I'll do a video on this, but it's literally like a 50% bust rate. It might even get into the 60s for a little while, and then it's just been an unbelievable. So anybody like sitting here going, oh, I had a bad year. It's just me. My team sucks. This and that. Injuries hit just me. Points against hit just me. This has been a brutal year for the entire industry. I've never seen so many busts and injuries in my life. It is what it is. I mean, look at this again. 50% bust rate on the top 22 overall players. It's crazy. And I think 22, I think Jacobs is next, and he's obviously been, let's see where Jacobs is finishing. He's number 7. Like, you can't, he's definitely a good play. But it get the top 25 to 50 get kind of crazy. McBride, Jacobs, T. Higgins, Hampton, Tyreek, Lamar, Josh Allen, Marvin Harrison, Kyron, JSN, probably the steal of the entire draft. Mike Evans, Garrett Wilson, Adams is in there, Jaden Daniels. There's some good picks in the 25 to 47, 48, but there are also some bad lands. But I think some things have turned around a little bit more so in the 25 to 50 than they did here, where a lot of these were injuries too that you can't get back into the mix. But just what a bad year. Smitty, it's insane how much volatility we are seeing. Absolutely. It's crazy, man. All right. I know it's going to be a shorter show tonight. Tonight's usually like the recap. Everybody's like taxed by the week. And we usually do a quick, waiver wire show. Again, the waiver board right here in case anybody needs the early waiver board. We're going to do a little bit more of it, tweak it tomorrow. I'll reorganize it. It's a little bit messy, but it's Benson, Tucker, Tootin, Monungai, Gainwell, Devin Neal, Brian Robinson Jr. kind of all smashed together. I'm sorry that it looks messy. I'll rewrite it. And then Michael Wilson Jr., DK, Higgins, Dart over on the QB, Strange and Loveland, Hill and Fannin Jr. and Theo. We'll get more added as I think of names that maybe we didn't have up there. Appreciate every single one of you. If anybody has you can dial in real quick phone lines. I think I reset it.
Call into the show.
I'm not sure if anybody wants to dial in real quickly. I reset the phone line. Should be able to squeak in a couple calls, and then we'll be out of here. Anybody has any super chats, drop them on screen. I'll answer them as quickly as I can. Definitely a mixed bag day for sure. Didn't help that Baker went down. Didn't help that this Buccaneer team didn't help feed 2, 3, 4 fantasy football stat lines. It's just been insane, man. This year, I always can't wait until the next year. That has nothing to do with an outcome either. Like some of the best years we've ever had, I still want the offseason to be there like that because I love the offseason. I love covering the offseason. The content's different. The freedom to do a video on anything versus being stuck to a waiver wire show. Not that I don't love it, but I just think the offseason, this is why I love the offseason so much more. And you can ask anybody that watches this show if you just got in the door, you never watched an offseason, it's your first time with us. No one competes with us during the offseason. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Let's see here. Have you must be a Cowboy fan. Hush. Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I love the off season now after finding you. Thanks, Caps. Appreciate you. Caps, we're getting right to it. Probably a little bit in December too. But right on January 1, I'll still cover like the games and such in January, on the playoffs and all that. But like right when January 1 comes, it is 2026 fantasy football content season on this channel. Nonstop. I think my phone lines are broken. I'll have to restart my computer. Appreciate you all. Thank you for all the super chats. I'll see you all tomorrow. Please visit the sponsors to help support the show. And don't forget to get on over to the live chat Patreon, where I'll kind of linger for the next hour or two over on the Patreon. If anybody has any questions or wants to talk shop at all, here is the link to the Patreon, 24/7, 365 live chat Patreon. Do it live. Hit that link. I'll pin the link in the live chat right now. There it is. See you all. tomorrow. Probably be live before, well before 8 p.m. Deuce.